You're listening to the new media. You're listening to Mitchell Talks. Learn more at MitchellTalks.com and follow me, Scott Mitchell, on Twitter at MitchellTalks. Most Oklahomans understand, or at least have heard of the term mineral rights. It's the rights of owners to sell or lease underground resources they own, such as oil, gas, coal, silver, gold, other reserves. Now, even if an individual only owns the surface rights, they too must be compensated when companies mine those underground resources. And private property rights also allow those surface owners to improve, sell, or lease their parcels. This area of law is well defined by statute and jurisdiction. Less well defined is the concept of private property rights above the surface. The rise in renewable energy sources is quickly elevating this topic with regulators. But because the media has been slow to cover this story, the public has far less information, especially when it comes to their private property rights above ground. Projects utilizing renewable energy can mean significant income for the property owners. That's something a hearing last Thursday at the Oklahoma Corporation Commission revealed. But it also revealed not everyone agrees that private property owners are entitled to property rights above the ground. And second, regulators are not even sure who has the authority over this airspace or even how high those rights might extend. To further complicate the issue, another authority even testified that remedies for the rights of private property owners above ground are clearly defined in law. Few property owners would agree with this bureaucrat's opinion. Regardless, several specialists say that as the renewable energy rules are drawn, private property owners have a vast stake in the outcome. Here's Oklahoma City Attorney Jim Roth, whose practice includes many renewable energy clients, addressing the corporation commissioners on that subject.
So we're dealing with significant landowner impacts and maybe business economic development impacts to the state. And so we appreciate the carefulness with which you'll approach the balance before you.
And what about which authority is in charge on this new area of law and the fate of Oklahoma's above-ground private property rights? This exchange between Corporation Commissioners Dana Murphy and Todd Hyatt gives some insight into the confusion.
And I'm not clear on air law, but I do think that property owners have some rights to certain airspace. I don't know what the limitation of it is. I don't really know what it is, but I think there is some property owner right with a certain amount of airspace. I just don't know what it is because I'm totally unfamiliar with it. It might be a very short amount of time because I know that there's been cases that have been filed just dealing with property owners of residences about how high somebody's fence is and certain things like that. So I think there is something. I don't know what it is. I'm totally unfamiliar with it. But I think we need to be thoughtful about just saying a property owner doesn't have any rights to airspace. I think they may have some, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what the limitations on it are.
But today we're talking about a very specific airspace that's very specifically defined by the federal government.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying to say that landowners have no right to airspace that's what I'm a little bit, I think we would have to do some looking at that.
But we could agree, though, that the land, and I don't know the answer to that question as to whether there is a case where a landowner does have some rights to airspace.
I'm not disagreeing with anyone.
Let me finish.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
But in this case, we're talking about a very specific airspace, and we could agree, though, that the landowners do not have rights to that specific airspace.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with anything. I'm just bringing up issues that I think need to be looked at. So I want to make it clear when I don't have disagreements, but I think when we make statements about things, I think it's important to make sure that the law is researched and to make sure that we're staying in our jurisdiction. So I don't have a disagreement or I don't have an agreement. I'm letting you know I just don't know.
Much is at stake as laws are refined and established to meet the growing demand for renewables and also the rights of property owners. There simply has been very little attention devoted to the rights of property owners as the laws and rules regarding renewables advances. Over the next few days on All of the Above, we'll be devoting time to this issue from the perspective of property owners, in their own words. Have a suggestion for an All of the Above topic? Email me at scott@MitchellTalks.com and follow me on Twitter @MitchellTalks and on the Mitchell Talks Facebook page.
You're listening to the new media, the Mitchell Talks Network. Learn more at MitchellTalks.com and follow me, Scott Mitchell, on Twitter @MitchellTalks.